Thank you, Mandisa. It is a good morning. It is 19 minutes after 7 o'clock. It's the 22nd day of July, 2014. Thank you for tuning in this Tuesday morning. Got a good show planned for you. 73 degrees here at the studios of The Source, WOCA, located in the Paddock Mall, just outside of the food court, if you're interested. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning, Larry.
The food court, also affectionately known as the WOCA commissary.
Yeah.
It is where we go get a bite to eat.
That's right.
Now and then.
Exactly. They do have good stuff there.
It is really good food in this food court. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
They have a variety, really nice, from Chick-fil-A to Charlie's and everything in between.
All right, let's see what we're doing this morning. The primaries are coming up soon, and so there are some candidates that you will be asked to select, and among those candidates are write-in candidates.
Oh, okay. Gee.
There's some issues with write-in candidates. A Florida election law could keep some voters from deciding certain races in the upcoming primary elections. 16 years ago, we here in Florida approved an amendment to the state constitution, which states that when there's a write-in candidate, it automatically closes the election to voters who are not registered in that specific party. Closes the election to voters who are not registered. Okay, so I always thought it was a closed election anyway.
Me too.
So I'm a little bit confused by that. But then there was another issue with the write-in candidates that was just changed the other day. And I guess this is a case in Citrus County where there's a write-in candidate who does not live in his jurisdiction. In other words, if he is elected as a write-in candidate, how will he be able to serve when you're supposed to live in your area? Well, a judge just made that easier. A Leon County judge struck down a state law requiring write-in candidates to live in the district where they are running for office.
Because there was one problem a couple years ago with somebody in the city. They were elected. They served for a year, and then all of a sudden it was discovered they weren't living in their district they were serving, so they had to step down.
That's a different, yes.
Oh, but that's different.
I think.
Oh,
but this whole write-in candidate being used as a strategic tool, and somebody registering themselves as a write-in candidate for political purposes, as opposed to for the intent of actually winning and serving the people.
Okay.
In other words, you put yourself into the hat, put your name into that simply as a way for somebody else to be elected or to be prevented from being elected. It's an interesting thing, and there's a story in Citrus County. We'll do that all at 7:35.
Okay.
And I love to hear what you all have to say about that.
I'm all ears.
Looking forward to hearing what you have to say, actually. 8:35 this morning, News Bites. We'll take the news from around the world, around the nation, around the state, and around town, and we'll abbreviate it. One of the local stories that's making a lot of news is the Adena Ranch water extraction story, and it is an interesting one, and it's a very hot one and a very debatable one, and yet in News Bites we don't do any of that. We just read the story. That's right,
exactly.
So I don't know. One of these mornings we have to bring that up in a talk format, maybe at the 7:35 segment. 9:05 today. Carol Ann Baldwin will be here. She is a master gardener.
Yes, she is.
She answers your questions about gardening. I love that show. It's kind of a break. It's kind of relaxing. It's just you're like in a garden.
Yeah. She's soothing.
Sloan Davidson at 10:05. Sloan is a social entrepreneur.
Yep.
Not sure what that means.
I know.
Sloan is also a philanthropist. I know what that means. And Sloan is coming on the air to talk about the Timeline Project, helping support millennial women to achieve their life goals. How about that? That's right. There you go. Are you a millennial woman? What is a millennial?
She's
somebody born after 2000?
Yeah,
so that person would be, 14 years old right now?
I think so.
Oh, yeah, so helping the young women. That's good.
Millennial women.
Wade Sloan.
Yes, I know. Isn't it coincidental?
It is coincidental. How I managed $20 billion by the age of 32. How I managed. You know, I had a friend when I was a kid who worked in a deli. In fact, his dad owned the deli. I had a friend when I was a kid. Did I say it right? And he would tell me that he handles, $10,000 a day or whatever it is.
Yes.
Of course, it was just money going into the register and coming out of the register.
Yeah, but you had to be accurate. You couldn't have fat fingers.
No, it was Daddy's business. He couldn't do that. Damage control today at 10:35. Joe Reichel comes in every Tuesday, and he helps you out with your do-it-yourself projects that you're just not sure what to do next. Do you put the glue down?
Exactly.
How do you stop this from leaking? And Joe will help you out with those questions. And, of course, if it's too big for you to do it yourself, then he, of course, will tell you who you would probably be better off getting to do that.
Yeah,
which
he's an
professional.
expert.
He knows not just the title, but he actually knows the local people in town.
Yeah, he does.
Patricia Skalka at 11:05. Her book is called, she's an author, and she's written a book called Death Stalks Door County.
In Wisconsin.
It's a novel in Wisconsin, yes.
Yep.
Liz Schulte. Liz Schulte is a young lady. We've had her on before, and when I say young lady, I believe she's
19, maybe?
She's a teenager, I think. Maybe she's past that mark now. But anyway, we've had her before, and she started young as an author. Her book is called Tiddlywinks.
Yeah.
Book 4 in the Easy Bake Coven mystery novel series. How about that, huh? Is she the one who had the thing on? There was a. Oh, yeah. There was a thing where she was writing books on the internet, and people were reading them. They weren't really books, but still, it was the same word content that a book would have, and she had a big following on the internet.
Yeah, I think
that's how she made a name for herself.
Her last book was The Ninth Floor, and I thought that was really incredible. It's a good book.
On Fun with Joe today, it's Name Your State, or State Your Name, or whatever.
Oh, cool. State your name.
I will
that
tell you
title.
something about different states and kind of interesting little tidbits of information. You just have to name a state.
Okay.
And then on with Galen, I got kind of a mini topic, and then the major one. I'll tell you the major one first. The major one, I found this a fascinating study done by a college couple, young man and young woman. I suppose they're a couple. They were touring the world. and
you never know. They could be friends.
Yeah, they could be friends. and they're touring the world, and he had, I guess, a stopwatch or whatever. They were timing people.
Oh.
They were seeing what is the average length. So I don't know if you would call this a scientific study, but they call it a scientific study. They took their time doing this. I'm going to tell you the length of time that people look at certain things.
Oh.
They did a series of surveys, and they actually did some eyewitness watching, and they asked if there were any statistics at certain museums. And anyway, so they put together this report, and I have the 12 things from the thing we look at the longest to the thing we look at the shortest.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, there were other things as well, but I brought it down to 12. The length of looking, how long people look at certain things, kind of a cool, interesting thing. And then the mini topic is, will Brett Favre be booed at Lambeau Field?
Oh, is he coming back?
Rob,
wow.
You have to ask the sports people these questions. I don't know.
Okay.
All I knew is I saw this story, and I thought, okay, will Brett Favre be booed?
I
saw the ESPN guys talking about this.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm going to ask him what he knows about that.
Yeah, Galen's a sports guy. He knows.
There was a story this morning, too, about Uncanny Valley. Have you ever heard of Uncanny Valley?
Uncanny Valley.
It's not a valley in the sense of two mountains. It's a valley in psychological terms, where where psychologists kind of somehow measure your ability to be tolerant.
Oh, we're good at that. We should be at the top of the list with that.
And you have a normal line on the graph that shows your tolerance level.
Okay.
And then there's a valley. It's uncanny. It goes down. And when it goes down, this is so interesting. And it happened with monkeys as well as with humans.
Really?
When it goes down is when you are looking at something that is realistic as far as being similar to you. Or your kind. And when it's so realistic, the more realistic it is, the more you are less likely to be tolerant of it and be angry at it.
Oh.
Which is interesting.
Very.
Which would mean that, and I didn't quite... relate to it. I understood it, but I didn't relate to it because this does not happen to me. I don't go through the store and look at a mannequin and be angry. Oh, it looks almost like me.
That's right.
Well, maybe that's because none of them look like me. But if you go to a wax museum, nobody gets angry at them, do they?
I don't
So
think
it's called the Uncanny Valley. It's a fascinating study also. People do studies on everything.
Wow.
And I have no idea what they're trying to prove with it. I just don't understand why they do these things.
I love this one.
But the thing is this, they get money from the government to study these things.
That's right.
They really do. So the Uncanny Valley. I've sunk into the Uncanny Valley. I'm angry at the mannequin.
I'll have to do that next time I see one.
All right, we'll take a little break. We've got to go to the news from Fox, and we'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Steve Rappaport. If President Obama won't act,
I will not stand idly by.
Texas Republican Governor Rick Perry will.
Perry, who is not seeking re-election, announced plans to deploy 1,000 Texas National Guard troops to the border immediately. Are hopeful a new military presence here will serve as a deterrent.
Fox's Casey Stiegel. Pro-Russia rebels turning over bodies and the black boxes from Malaysia Airlines Flight 17.
Malaysia's Prime Minister announcing the breakthrough. Prime Minister Najib Razak also announcing that
independent international investigators will be guaranteed safe access to the crash site.
Although some experts say it may be too late to gather evidence following claims of rebels tampering with the scene.
Fox Radio's Simon Owen. A major wildfire in Washington state, only 2% contained, about 150 homes destroyed. Fox News. We report, you decide.
There's more to Fox News Radio than meets the ear. Go behind the headlines and join the conversation on the hottest stories of the day on the Fox News Radio Facebook page. Be a part of the Fox News Radio Facebook fan community. Post comments and tell us your opinions. See behind-the-scenes photos and videos and post your reactions to the stories that matter to you. Click the like button on Facebook and connect with breaking news and features like Fox in the Fast Lane, House Call for Help, and more. Go to facebook.com/Fox News Radio.
Weeknights, we're busting out a brand new lineup. First, market fraud, government abuse, corruption. At 5, nothing's off limits on money with Melissa Francis. Then, from bloated bank fees to consumer scams. At 6, Jerry's exposing the issues impacting your wallet. Plus, get smart market insight and trusted analysis you won't find anywhere else. At 7, Lou Dobbs is all business. And the first and last name in business, Cavuto, shedding light on the biggest stories making headlines at 8. Only on the Fox Business Network.
How good does it get?
Golf has long been considered to be sport's most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars, Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the Links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin, right here on The Source.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Frederick's Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Frederick's Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Frederick's Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Frederick's Appliance.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Your home is safe, or is it? AA Lock, Dock, and Security. The name has been a staple in Ocala since 1985. Do you have the right equipment in place to have peace of mind when you are at home or away? AA Lock, Dock, and Security has the right people to install and monitor your home or business. Call today for a free on-site security analysis. Call 867-1965. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, 219 Northwest 10th Street, 867-1965.
Your weekends are getting a little retool.
Swear to God, not making a joke.
Check this out.
New shows? Check. We are Some new talent? Check. Let's welcome the guys.
Let's get it going.
Arnie Spanier.
Unbelievable.
TJ Reeves.
This is what you get.
Your weekends are on fire because that's how exotic it is.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
1370 WOCA.
All right, thank you. 25 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. We will talk about the elections and writing candidates and the rules and all of that. And I guess there's a circumstance happening in Citrus County, so we'll talk all about that in just a second. First, I need to tell you about a ribbon cutting today. There's a ribbon cutting at the Burger King at 3960 West Silver Springs Boulevard. This is a new Burger King in Ocala on Highway 40. West Silver Springs Boulevard is Highway 40, right?
Yep.
And the ribbon cutting is this morning at 9:30 a.m. Pickles included.
Pickles included.
Well, I added that.
Yeah, I love pickles. They don't charge extra for
The Chamber and Economic Partnership has teamed up with WOCA so we can help spread the word about the ribbon cuttings, because ribbon cuttings are public events.
Yep.
You are allowed, invited, in fact, to show up at these things and partake in the festivities and congratulate the business owners on their new business. This Burger King is on the left. Let's see, you head west on Highway 40 if you're heading out of Ocala. Go under I-75. The Burger King is on the left in front of Gander Mountain.
Yep.
Thursday, 2 days from today, there's a ribbon cutting at the Genius Tech, located at 4275 Southeast 58th Avenue. That ribbon cutting is at 4:30 in the afternoon. They are located on Baseline Road across from Anytime Fitness. Join them and celebrate their grand opening in style. They provide IT solutions for residential and business clients, as well as phone systems and website design. They have over $250 in gift certificates to give away.
That's pretty awesome.
Now, there's a reason to go to a ribbon cutting.
Yeah.
And you could win a computer monitor.
Oh, nice.
You need a monitor.
Yeah, big one.
Food and drinks also at this one. Also save 10%. It goes on. So anyway, so there's a ribbon cutting today and Thursday. And then Friday, there's a ribbon cutting for a singer and a song and an entertainer.
Yep.
Mark Raish.
Yep.
Is a performer, I guess, at the Hilton, right?
Yes.
And Arthur's Bistro. So he'll be there. The cutting ribbon for a guy, for one guy.
Right.
Mark is classy, it says here. Engaging and exciting. Mark has over 20 years of experience singing and entertaining. He must have joined the chamber, huh?
Yeah, he must have.
He's been compared to Michael Bublé and Bobby Darin and Diana Krall.
Wow.
No.
No.
I haven't met you, sir. I haven't met you, sir. Take Diana Krall off your list of people to compare yourself to.
Yeah.
I respect you, and I'm sure you're a lovely fellow. But you're not that lovely.
No, Diana Krall is wonderful.
And anyway, so so there you go. Cool.
Nice.
All right, let's talk about these election year things. Okay, so where do I start with this one? There's a few. Let me start with this news from the Citrus County Chronicle.
Okay.
This is from July 14th. Okay, so just a few days, just about a week ago, right?
Yeah.
In the August 26th primary election, there will be a universal primary election in the race. Hello, get out of here. In the race for Citrus County Commission District 4. Now, what that means is that there is no party opposition. Florida is a closed primary state, meaning voters are limited to choosing candidates in their own party in the primary election. However, in the District 4 race between Scott Carnahan and Wynn Webb, both are in the Republican Party. Therefore, the race becomes a universal primary and will be decided in the primary election. That race will be on all ballots, Republican, Democrat, and nonpartisan. This differs from the school board or judicial races, because those races are nonpartisan anyway. The nonpartisan races appear on the primary election ballot. If there are more than 2 candidates, the winner must receive 50% plus 1 vote. Okay. I don't want to get confused here.
Okay. I'm all
So
ears.
now let's go over to here. So far we know that in the state of Florida, if all the candidates running for a particular position are with one party, then it's an open primary. In other words, everybody can go vote if it's only 2 Republicans facing each other, as in the case of Citrus County.
Okay.
However, let me find this one. There's the issue in Citrus County that has become problematic. Is it Joey White? Is Joey White running a write-in candidate? Okay, forgive me if I don't have that exactly correct, but here's the thing. Let me start here. Hold on, let me make sure I get it all. I'm doing this in order. Where's the thing that says about... All right, a Florida election law could keep some voters from deciding certain races in the upcoming primary election. All right, so we start off with this idea that there's closed primaries. If it's only Republicans and only Republicans, I mean, if there's a Democratic candidate, for example, and there's a Republican set of candidates, then the Republicans pick their favorite Republican, and the Democrats pick their favorite Democrat, and such for all the other parties as well. If, however, there are no Democrats running, as in the case in Citrus County, then everybody votes on those candidates, as in the case of Citrus County. But there's a way to throw a nut and a stick into the spokes, whatever they say. 16 years ago, Florida voters approved what I'm about to tell you. It's an amendment to the state constitution. It states that when there's a write-in candidate, it automatically closes the election to voters who are not registered to that specific party.
Oh.
See that?
Okay.
So if somebody decides to become a write-in candidate, all of a sudden Democrats, in this case in Citrus County, all of a sudden Democrats can't participate in that primary because there's a write-in.
And not because of party affiliation, just because he's a write-in.
Right. Let's see.
Gee.
Some feel that excludes them from having a say in the process, and it needs to be addressed. There are 2 races in Southwest Florida where this is happening also, where only Republicans will be able to vote in certain races because of write-in candidates that have entered their name into the election process, whatever.
Gosh. Well, the voters voted for it.
And now, and then add to that this. On Friday, a Leon County judge struck down a state law requiring write-in candidates to live in the district where they are running for office.
Oh.
So now,
Gee.
you not only see. Here's the. I love the idea that you can be a write-in candidate, and here's why. Because it takes a lot of money. And it takes a lot of, knocking on doors to get petitions signed, one or the other, to get your name on the ballot in the first place. A write-in candidate doesn't have to worry about that. And so that means the poor man does have an opportunity to get on the ballot. The truth is, and everybody knows this, name a write-in candidate that has won.
Yeah.
And so the truth is they don't win. Write-in candidates don't win.
No, they still have to register to be a write-in, but
you might be able
to
tell me 1 or 2 that have. I don't know every single candidate that's ever run.
I don't think so.
But I mean, usually the write-in candidates don't win. So it's almost like a moot point. However, it's not a moot point when it's looked upon as a strategic way to prevent, for example, in this case, Democrats from voting in the primary.
Yeah. Right.
Because all of a sudden you have the only candidates running are A, the write-in candidate, and B, the 2 Republican candidates. So now the Democrats can't vote for anybody because there's a write-in candidate.
Oh, yeah.
See?
Gee.
All of a sudden it throws a stick in the spokes. I think we had this in Marion County a few years ago. I believe that this happened.
I think so.
And when we brought it up, the person who was named was very hard to get a hold of.
And they didn't want the office anyway. They
didn't want the office anyway. I can't
Right.
remember, and I don't want to name names because obviously I'll get it wrong in my memories.
Yeah, I remember that.
But anyway, so on Friday, just a few days ago, the Leon County judge struck down the state law requiring writing candidates to live in the district where they are running for office. So to make it even more messy,
Yes.
the person who is going to strategically place his or her name on the ballot simply for the purposes of helping out whoever they think that they're helping
Yeah.
doesn't even need to live there.
That is insane.
That opens it up to anybody who wants to just throw a stick in the spokes. I keep using that
Exactly.
metaphor, but it's the best one I
true.
have.
You don't have to even live there.
All right, so I want to hear what you all have to say about this, and I do have more to tell you about it, and although that's basically it. So let's go to the break, and we'll be right back. Deal?
Deal.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Today, times of clouds and sun with a couple of showers and a heavy thunderstorm. The high 86 to 90. Partly cloudy tonight with a thunderstorm in spots. Low 71 to 75. Tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun with a shower or thunderstorm in the area. High 88 to 92. And for Thursday, more the same. Intervals of clouds and sun with a shower and thunderstorm around. High 89 to 93. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Let's face it, nowadays it can be hard to find American-made products, and that's something that Cabinet Sales of North Florida is well aware of. That's why they're an authorized dealer of Wellborn Cabinetry, family-owned and American-made since 1961. Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your answer for complete turnkey kitchen remodels and whole house cabinetry. Their cabinets are finished with solvent-based enamels for a long-lasting finish that's second to none. Available in an incredible selection of door styles and colors to choose from to turn your dream kitchen into a reality. In-house design and drawing services are available. Come by and see our displays for yourself at the Floors of the Villages, 3935 County Road 216 in Oxford, or Exquisite Design Kitchen and Bath in Bellevue, right across the street from the Bellevue Library. So whether you're looking for bookcases, kitchen, bath, or outdoor kitchen, Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your one-stop source of quality cabinets. For a free estimate, call 352-427-2647. That's 352-427-2647. Cabinet Sales of North Florida.
This is a public notice. Local residents can now save thousands of dollars on their next car, truck, or SUV. It's not a tent sale, because no tent is big enough to hold this many cars. It's OcalaForSale.com. Say goodbye to sticker shock. OcalaForSale.com has thousands of vehicles with no stickers at all. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, loss proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Each time we tell even a small white lie, we get a boost in stress that directly impacts our health. So when is it better to use a debit card? If you tend to overspend, when you can't actually see the money you're spending, it is easy to get carried away and rack up huge charges that may be difficult to pay back. Good middle ground is to address somebody the way they introduce themselves to you. So if you say, "Hi, I'm Mrs. Ferguson," then stick with the Mrs.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
News Talk 1370, WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
All right, thank you. 12 minutes now before 8 o'clock. And just to recap what we were talking about, we're talking about the elections. We're talking about the complications that a write-in candidate can cause in the primaries. In a nutshell, a primary is closed in the state of Florida. The Democrats vote for their candidate, the Republicans for theirs, and every party votes for their own. Mm-hmm. If there is only one party running for an office, as in the case in Citrus County right now, there are two candidates, both Republicans, and I believe there's a write-in candidate. If not there, then there certainly is in Southwest Florida. There are two cases where this is happening. A write-in candidate puts messes it up, puts a fly in the ointment. I use a different metaphor this time. If all the candidates in a primary election are from a single political party, meaning the winner of the primary will be the office holder, all voters can participate regardless of their party affiliation. So the end of that whole voting process is at the primary. The winner is declared at that moment. To stop that from happening, it's a strategy rather than a real legitimate attempt to represent the people. Although I'm not saying all write-in candidates have been that way, but a write-in candidate often will cause a problem. Knowingly or not knowingly. So how many times has a write-in candidate been somebody who really wanted to hold the office, put their name in the hat, and everybody got mad at him or her?
Yes,
because,
exactly.
you messed it up. We could have had it all right. And so this is the issue. And then just the other day, a judge says, and I'm just recapping. If you're listening, then I'm not trying to be redundant. I just know the nature of radio listeners. Then the other day in Leon County, a judge says, the write-in candidate does not even need to live in the district he or she would represent if he or she was in fact elected. Jim Penna on the phone right now, very political guy in our community and has contributed to us greatly in the past. And he had something else to say. And I apologize for answering off the air, Jim. You didn't realize it, but now you're on the air.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. I'm with the Constitution Party, and the Florida legislature changed the election law last year so that it's even more difficult to run third party. And that's part of the proliferation of the write-in candidates, because under the new Florida election law, a person cannot just register in my party and then run for election. You have to have been registered in a party for 1 year before you can file to run for an election in whatever party. That includes the donkey and the elephant as well. So you can't just go up to the supervisor of elections and register for a political party and then pull papers. You have to be in the party for 1 full year.
Oh, okay.
And so it becomes easier to run write-in than to run in a party.
Okay. And so a write-in candidate is or is not required to have a party? No, there's no requirement there.
No, there's no party label. Now you can run what's called no party affiliation, which is a lesser filing fee, and your name will appear on the ballot. But you have to go through the same situation where you have to post a filing fee or obtain signatures.
And I'm assuming, based on what you just told us, that Charlie Crist has been a Democrat for over a year?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jim.
All right. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you. And that's an interesting thing. I don't know that that's a problematic thing, though. I think that's a good thing, actually. I think maybe I agree with that, actually, that ruling. But anyway, so getting back to this one, the ruling may seem inconsequential considering that no write-in candidate has ever won an election in Florida. Okay, I was guessing that. No, I'm reading it from the Tampa Bay Times. But it could have a profound impact on the state's quirky election system. In Florida, write-in candidates have a unique power. If all of the candidates in a primary election are from a single political party, meaning the winner of the primary, because we had that already, we discussed that. Anyway, Friday's ruling decided a lawsuit against Ronald Bray, who is a write-in candidate for Florida House District 96. The district covers Parkland, Coconut Creek, and Margate in Broward County. Democratic Representative Jim Waldman, who currently holds the seat, cannot run for re-election because of term limits. Bray's decision to run as a write-in candidate closed the primary between two Democratic candidates, Broward County Commissioner Kristen Jacobs and former state representative Steve Perman. It also prompted a lawsuit from Coconut Creek attorney Robert Adams seeking to have Bray disqualified on the primary so that it would be opened to Republican and independent voters. Bray, who was a University of Miami graduate student, conceded that he lived outside of the district, but his attorney said it didn't matter. His argument was that the Florida Constitution requires state House and Senate candidates to live in the district on the date of the election, not the date they qualify for the race. The legislature cannot make any modifications to that, said the attorney.
Oh.
And adding that only write-in candidates had to satisfy a residency requirement. Anyway, the Florida Democratic Party intervened in the case, making a similar case. Leon County Judge George Reynolds agreed And so now writing candidates don't have to live in the district where they run for office, which means that it becomes more of a strategic opportunity, which is like playing games with your constitutional right to be able to vote, we the people, for the candidate you want.
Yes, yes.
So where? Okay, so 96 is down in the South Florida.
I hate people that do it just for personal gain and not to serve the community. That's awful.
If you don't at least require someone to live in the district, it opens the door to frivolous campaigns from writing candidates. This is the opinion from a guy named Steinberg. I apologize. Michael Steinberg. Oh, he's an attorney. Okay, attorney Michael Steinberg. Most candidates qualify in one of two ways. They either pay the state qualifying fees, which can be more than $1,000 depending on the race.
Yeah.
Or they collect a certain number of signatures. Writing candidates don't have either requirement. But unlike other candidates, their names do not appear on the ballot, obviously. This year, 26 writing candidates are running for in-state House or Senate races in the state of Florida. In 14 of those races, the write-in means the primary election is closed to either Democratic or Republican voters, depending on the actual candidates.
And the write-in's name is not on the ballot then, even though they qualify at the Supervisor of Elections office.
That's what it says, yeah. At least one other writing candidate is facing a legal challenge over allegations he lives outside the district, and that was the one we just told you about.
Yeah, that shouldn't have been.
The article I'm reading from is older than that decision. That decision was made on Friday. Wow. So, well...
Because why not live in your district? How could the judge rule on something like that?
Well, to me, I guess I understand why he ruled it. If it says you can't live there, you have to live there on the day you're elected, then he has to move. But I mean, if you can't even afford $1,000, and not that that's a small amount, but I'm saying, can you just up and move on election day or just before election day? Most people who can't, who are having a hard, who want to really represent, who don't have the money or the time to get signatures, probably can't move either.
No, exactly.
Probably can't move at the last minute either.
Exactly.
Good morning. You're on the air. What do you think?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. To clarify the write-in procedure, in the November election, there will be a spot on the ballot that says write-in, and you'll have to write the person's name.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But there's no name actually printed on the ballot.
There's no name printed on the ballot. It just it says write-in, and you have to write the name of the person and then fill the little circle.
Okay, but and help me out with this, Jim, since you're probably the only person that would know this. A writing candidate in the general election is not as much of a strategic, almost covert way of foiling a campaign, right?
No,
it's mostly it's mostly in the primaries, right?
Unless it's somebody on the order of a Ross Perot, the write-in candidate in the general election has no real effect unless there's been a huge scandal with the other two nominees.
Okay. But in the primary, it makes a big difference, at least in the state of Florida, because in Florida we have the closed election.
Yeah. No, the interesting thing is the write-in won't appear in the primary ballot at all because that candidate automatically goes to the general election.
Oh, okay. However, that writing, the fact that there is a writing candidate closes the door. In Citrus County, the writing candidate will prevent Democrats from voting in the primary.
Yeah.
In that one race.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. That is crazy. So somebody did that for a reason.
Yeah.
That's what.
Well, it was it was horse trading to get the 11th Amendment passed. It was the last thing that was thrown in that made the 11th Amendment more palatable to get. The 11th Amendment made it easier to get third parties on the ballot.
Okay.
We used to have to get 3% of the entire voter registration in order to get to the ballot. We could not pay the filing fee. We had to get the signatures. Which means that to run for governor or U.S. Senate, we had to have 300,000 signatures, which is impossible.
So does the Constitution Party have any, and I guess we
have nobody in Marion County in this election cycle. We have somebody running in one of another county. I can't remember the name right off the top of my head.
Oh, okay. All right. I appreciate your help with this story, Jim. Thank you for your insight.
Right.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Well, anyway, I guess there's nothing we can do about it. Judge made his mind up, but it just sometimes it just stinks, doesn't it, Robin?
It does.
Sometimes it just stinks.
You.
Thank you. All right, we'll take a little break, and we'll be right back. Galen Unold with Life South is next, right after news from Fox News. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The remains of most of the Malaysia air crash victims are now out of rebel hands.
After a roughly 12-hour journey from close to the crash site, the train pulling into Kharkiv, a city outside of rebel territory and under Ukrainian government control. The remains now set to be flown to the Netherlands. Most of the 298 victims were Dutch, so further identification and repatriation efforts will be organised from there.
Fox Radio's Simon Owen in Kiev.
The movement of the remains was announced by Malaysia, which appears to have struck a deal with the pro-Russian rebels controlling the crash site.
Malaysia also has control of the black box data recorders. And Texas Governor Rick Perry planning to deploy up to 1,000 National Guard troops to the border with Mexico to provide support in the crisis over the surge of illegal immigrants. Fox News. We report, you decide.
There's more to Fox News Radio than meets the ear. Go behind the headlines and join the conversation on the hottest stories of the day on the Fox News Radio Facebook page. Be a part of the Fox News Radio Facebook fan community. Post comments and tell us your opinions. See behind-the-scenes photos and videos and post your reactions to the stories that matter to you. Click the like button on Facebook and connect with breaking news and features like Fox in the Fast Lane, House Call for Help, and more. Go to Facebook.com/Fox News Radio.
Weeknights, we're busting out a brand new lineup. First, market fraud, government abuse, corruption. At 5, nothing's off limits on money with Melissa Francis. Then, from bloated bank fees to consumer scams. At 6, Jerry's exposing the issues impacting your wallet. Plus, get smart market insight and trusted analysis you won't find anywhere else. At 7, Lou Dobbs is all business. And the first and last name in business, Cavuto, shedding light on the biggest stories making headlines at 8. Only on the Fox Business Network.
It's the end of the fiscal year, and that means budget cuts and number crunching. Now's the time of the year you're evaluating your expenses, planning your budget, and finding ways to save money and increase efficiency to maximize profits. Dex Imaging understands and delivers. Call Dex Imaging today for a free document management evaluation. Cutting your office expenses is as easy as calling Dex Imaging. 352-266-0333. Start saving money today and increase your bottom line with Dex Imaging. Printers, copiers, and fax machines that increase office productivity and save you money. No one understands your bottom line better. Call Dex Imaging today, 352-266-0333, or check them out on the web at deximaging.com. That's DEXimaging.com. Or call 352-266-0333 for your free document management evaluation today.
On Friday, July 25th, the Marion Dunn Masonic Lodge number 19 will again host its popular public open house event at the Lodge in Ocala from 6 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. The annual event is free and open to the public. The public is invited to attend a short program which will briefly look at Freemasonry and the rich 165-year history of Marion Dunn Masonic Lodge. The roots of Freemasonry and the impact it has upon the world, our nation, innovative medical research, childhood diseases, and our community will be presented. There will be no